tell you some of the stuff we're doing right now. So we took on Residency Preferences in the Section 8 program in Dubuque, Iowa. Now, Residency Preferences, a preference for housing, or for affordable housing, or housing funded locally or by HUD. Residency preferences aren't in themselves illegal. You can do them. You can give some preference for local residents. However, they have to be examined to whether or not they exclude people based on race. So if you've got an all-white enclave, say Monroe County, Pennsylvania, just to pick a hypothetical example, and it's... Don't tell my people back home I'm doing this. And it's within easy commuting distance of New York City. And there's new affordable housing, and the waiting list in New York City for affordable housing is 18,000 years long. So people who get vouchers or want affordable housing even without a voucher would like to find such a housing without waiting for 18,000 years. And so they look around and they go, Monroe County, Pennsylvania is only a 60-mile commute. We can carpool with so-and-so and such, or we can take the bus. So let's go out there and look. Monroe County, Pennsylvania finds out that that's happening because a few folks from New York City start moving into their place, so they immediately adopt a residency preference that gives 100% preference to people who live in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. And if I mention that Monroe County, Pennsylvania is 86% white, what does the residency preference do? You might just as well put a wall up at the outside of town that says sundown town. Might just as well. All right? So no, that doesn't work. In some places, residency preferences are okay. In some places, because the community is already diverse and you're giving preference to your local folks and you can indulge yourself. But in some places, especially where residency preferences are applied to communities that are mostly white, they serve as barriers. Almost insurmountable barriers to moving into the community of people of color. So in Dubuque, the Section 8 program first stopped using all of its vouchers. Have you ever heard of this? In a time when we need so much affordable housing, they were turning back in their vouchers. And then they set a local residency preference of, I can't remember. It was, you got a preference if you lived in Dubuque and an additional preference if you lived in Iowa. Dubuque was 87% white. I don't remember the numbers for Iowa, but it's pretty white too. And voucher holders from Chicago who were desperately seeking a safe place with good schools to raise their kids could not get anywhere on the list in Dubuque because the local preferences gave so much priority to local folks that they didn't have a choice. We issued a letter of finding. We settled that case. We threatened, we didn't threaten anybody. It doesn't do that. We told Dubuque that we believed that the way they were operating their Section 8 program failed to affirmatively further fair housing and violated Title VI, and we would love it if they could fix it quickly, or we were unfortunately going to have to look at the way that they received their funding from HUD. And it worked. They resolved it. And you know what? They're happy. The day after the letter got to them, the mayor went in the news and said, we had no idea we were doing this. We're so sorry.